Today, I'm going to share with you the 5 best micro-learning platforms you should be using in 2025. And to make sure that you and I were on the same page, I want to define micro-learning with you. So what is micro-learning? Micro-learning is when a subject matter expert teaches their learner, their student, in a way where it is bite-sized for them to understand. Now, there's an argument that has been going on for years is like, what defines how long a micro-learning piece of content is, a micro piece of content? Well, depending on who you talk to, some people may say 30 seconds, others might say 10 minutes, 20 minutes. The true answer is a micro-learning piece of content should only cover one topic. And that allows you to define how long it should be. But Johnny, what if the topic is something very broad like how to be an ultra runner with asthma? Well, I actually, in my other business, Athlete with Asthma, I have a whole video that is not a micro-learning video about that topic. So how do we define one topic? Well, if you have one overarching topic, you're gonna have a bunch of topics that support that topic. For example, how to be an ultra runner with asthma is going to be broken down into things like different breathing techniques. Then each of those breathing techniques could be their own topic. So what you really need to do when you're coming up with micro-learning is start with what your main topic is and then break it into subtopics and then look within those subtopics and break that into topics, and that is where your micro-learning is. Now, from a length perspective, this could mean that it could be 30 seconds all the way up to about 15 minutes. You don't really want to go beyond 15 minutes. If you're going beyond 15 minutes, then you probably haven't broken down your topics enough. What is a micro-learning platform, like the 5 I'm going to share with you today? Well, a micro-learning platform is a piece of software that empowers you to create micro-learning content and deliver micro-learning content to your learners, which could be your customers, could be your team members, could be your employees, whoever you are teaching with your micro-learning. So it does those 2 things. It needs to empower you to create the micro-learning, and it needs to deliver the micro-learning in bite-sized pieces so that your learners can easily ingest the content. So why do we even care about micro-learning? Well, the biggest social media platforms in the world, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, these platforms all have moved towards short-form video content. Well, short-form video content is actually micro-learning. So if people all over the world, you and I included, are used to on a daily basis consuming short-form content like this in our daily lives, what's the best way to teach us? Micro-learning content, micro-learning short-form video-based content. And this brings me to the first micro-learning platform you need to be using in 2025, and that is YouTube. Now, in other videos on this channel, I have talked about how YouTube is the biggest learning management system in the world. It is not only free for your learners to learn, it allows you to position yourself as an expert in whatever field you are talking about. And yes, this includes if you're building programs to train your employees, another great way to get content out there for your employees to learn from and to attract other employees and to potentially create another revenue stream for your business. So YouTube has really 2 types of content. You can put out shorts, as you can see here, and you can put out long form videos, or as people call them, longs. Now, either one of these can be used for micro-learning. Shorts traditionally are just going to be micro-learning innately, but you could also put out a video like you're watching right now. This would not technically be a micro-learning video because it's longer than that 10 to 15 minute mark, but you could put out micro-learning content on YouTube in that 10 to 15 minute mark to serve your audience, to serve your customers, to serve your employees. Okay, so let's look at Athlete with Asthma here. Okay, this is my other brand, and basically, the purpose of this channel, it's right here in my about, is that I teach other athletes with asthma, specifically runners and ultra runners with asthma, how to overcome any perceived limitations that you may have to achieve your goals, okay? And I do that with various pieces of content on my channel. I also have my own podcast, The Athlete with Asthma Show. Well, The Athlete with Asthma Show is definitely not microlearning. The episodes range from 20 minutes to even over an hour. But what I do with every single podcast episode, and you can see it right here, is I actually create multiple shorts out of every podcast episode. I create somewhere between 5 and 10 micro-learning shorts with every podcast episode, okay? So I do that because I know that not everyone's gonna wanna listen to a long-form podcast or watch a long-form video. So I want to make sure that the main points in that learning, in that podcast, are captured as shorts. So you can see all of my shorts here. Then I also have different topics that I'll dig into. So best breathing techniques for running if you have asthma. Now this, I would actually call this video a micro-learning video. It's one topic and I cover it in less than 10 minutes. So I would personally call this a micro-learning video, okay? Now, if we go to my podcast, so right here, we have this most recent episode, Why I Always Run with Music and Why You Should Too. It's 22 minutes long. This is a little too long for a micro-learning video. And I'll tell you this, there are 3 main topics that I talk about in this video. Okay, this video actually has become 6 short-form micro-learning videos. Now, why I love YouTube so much is because you can not only put out your long-form content, you can put it out as a podcast, you can put it out just as a video, but you can also put out your micro-learning content. And people are going to learn from you through your content in 2 different ways. They're either going to go directly to your homepage of your YouTube channel, like I have here, or they're gonna see your videos pop up in their feed in one way or another. Now, with shorts, it may pop up in the short feed, and with longs, it may pop up in suggested or recommended videos. So when you finish this video, you were probably gonna be suggested another video. Before you watch this video, you may have watched a different video and was suggested this video. So if you're not on YouTube, you need to be on YouTube. It is the place for you to be to not only serve your audience with micro-learning content, serve them with longer form content as well, but you're gonna start building that relationship and you're gonna start impacting a lot of lives. So YouTube is the first micro-learning platform you need to be on and be using in 2025. Now you're probably wondering, okay, Johnny, so you created these shorts. How did you create these shorts or these micro-learning pieces of content out of your long form video? Because I have a ton of videos that I've recorded. I have all these trainings I've recorded. And hey, I have all these trainings I've recorded, Zoom calls I've recorded. I've done live presentations that I've recorded. So I have all this long form content, but I want to make these into micro-learning pieces of content. Well, before I share with you the 4 other micro-learning platforms I highly recommend that you check out to see if they are the right fit for you and the audience you're serving, I want to introduce you to Descript. It is not technically a micro-learning platform, but Descript is one of the best micro-learning tools that you can use to create your micro-learning content. Because here's the thing. 5-10 years ago when we were talking about micro-learning, when you first hear about it, may sound like it's easy. It's like, oh, it's shorter content. This must be easier to create. It can be really tough to create unless you have tools like Descript. Now, I highly recommend that you check out Descript, which is why I have a link in the description below this video for a free trial of Descript. And then once you do, you will have the same power that I have with Descript here. So what is Descript? Well, Descript empowers you to create video, audio, and text-based content using the power of AI. What you can do is record a long-form video like this, and you can turn it into not only a long form video, you can turn it into a podcast episode, so purely audio. You can build a blog post out of it, taking the transcript from the video and using that to build your blog post. You can also build a written module for your course out of it. And you can take that long form piece of content and even build out these micro learning pieces of content. So if you already have all these long form pieces of content created, what you can do is feed it into Descript, and Descript will allow you to break it into micro learnings. Now I have multiple tutorials that dive deep into Descript on my channel, on the eLearning Partners YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe and check out those more in-depth tutorials on the channel. So when you log in, you see all these projects, which are just all these videos, these long form videos that we have in here. Now, what we can do is we can go into any of these that are already here, and I'll dive into one of those in a second. We're gonna go to new project. And then we have a few options for new project. Video project, audio project, we can do a quick recording and even a record with others. So if we want other people to be part of the video and they're remote, we can bring them in. When we pick new video project, here's what pops up. We can either upload a file, so maybe you have a long form piece of content that you want to upload here. This is where you would do that. You can also record directly into Descript. When you record directly into Descript, you're going to be using a camera that is connected to your computer. So it could be the webcam right here. It could also be an external webcam that you buy and hook up to your computer. And you can also record your screen like I'm doing right now, but I'm not using Descript to record my screen right now because I can't show you Descript and record my screen with Descript at the same time. So I'm actually using the native screen capture software within my MacBook Pro to capture my screen right now. Okay, so you can click on record. You can also write AI speech. So you write and then Descript will actually say all the things using an AI voice. We can also import from Zoom, and we can even go and see more layers and get really fancy. But really, you're most likely going to upload a file or record directly into Descript. So for athlete with asthma, I record directly into Descript every single one of my long form videos, my long form podcast episodes. And then I use Descript to make those into microlearning. With eLearning Partners, I record in a studio. I have a camera set up right in front of me. I'm also capturing my screen. I have a mic right here. And I take this, the finished product, and then I feed it into Descript to help me build blog posts, to help me build YouTube descriptions, to help me build any micro learning that I need to create from the videos. Okay, so once we do that, let me show you. Let's go into, here we go, how to create and launch a podcast using Kajabi. Why not? So Kajabi is actually the second microlearning platform that you need to know about in 2025. That's where we will be going next. But first, let's look at this video. So this video is 38 minutes long, so definitely not microlearning, much beyond the scope of one topic. Even though it looks like it's one topic, launching a podcast in Kajabi from scratch, there are a lot of subtopics within this topic, right? So what I can do is, this video has already been uploaded to Descript. And since it's been uploaded to Descript, we have a transcript for the video, okay? So Descript basically creates a transcript automatically for every video. And that allows you to go in and you can just edit it yourself by deleting text, okay? I talk about that in detail in other videos on my channel. What we want to do though, is we want to use something called Underlord. Underlord is what Descript currently calls their AI technology. When you're watching this, it may not be called Underlord. Okay, it may just be called AI. It could be called something else. The point is, within Descript's AI capabilities, you want to find create clips, okay? Or you could even search what you want to do, okay? But we want to create clips. So I'm going to go click on create clips, and then we're going to ask it for 20 clips, and then we can say how long we want the clips. Now, if we're building these for YouTube and we want these to be shorts, then they need to be less than 3 minutes long. TikTok has its own limitations, so does Reels. So do these other microlearning platforms that we're going to go through next. So just to be safe, I like to keep it at 30 seconds because what's going to happen is Descript is going to overshoot that and give me a bunch of stuff that is probably in the 1 to 2 minute range. If I say a minute, I'm going to get stuff that's even longer into the 3 minute range, but I really want to keep it in the 1 to 2 minute range. So I'm going to shoot for 30 seconds. Okay. So I go submit. And it's literally going to go through this entire 38-minute video, and it's going to try and create 20 clips for me. Why do I pick 20 clips? Are we going to use them all? No. I mean, usually I use about a third of the clips that Descript gives me, but I want enough clips to be able to go through and choose which ones are really good. So you could even put 30 clips. The thing is, if you put 100 clips, you're not going to get 100 clips. A lot of times I don't even get 20 clips from it. It's just kind of level of magnitude, right? Descript is looking, okay, 20 clips. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try and find 20 clips. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to click on done, because what this is going to do now is it's created a composition within my project. So this top kind of level organization piece within Descript is my project. Then I have two compositions. I have the long form video, and then I have a sub composition here that has all of the shorts underneath it. Okay, so here's all the clips. So what I can do now is click on a clip, and here it is. Okay, here's the clip, and it's set up as a short. Okay, now what if we want this to be widescreen? We can go right here, and now it's wide. Now you're gonna have to do some other adjustments to make it work so it's not cut off, okay? But you have your settings here depending on what you're gonna put this clip on. Now we're gonna go back to portrait because this is gonna go out as a short. And basically we go through what your audience wants to learn about. Figure out what the pain points of your audience are. Okay, and I can delete these captions. Descript does create auto captions. I just like to add some more fancy captions that they have. So I'll usually go over here to captions, have it add captions. The great thing is captions work really well in Descript because they already have the transcript. So it just auto captions things for you. I highly recommend that you use Descript to create your micro-learning content, especially micro-learning video content. What we can do if we want to build some other content is we just go to Underlord and we can ask it for what we want to build. We can also create a highlight reel if we want. That'll just take the best clips that Descript AI or Underlord thinks will go well together. We can also translate this. So if you are looking to translate this to another language to serve a different audience, you can do that. We can draft a title, summarize, draft show notes for like a podcast. We can also draft a YouTube description. We can draft a blog post, etc. We can also write a script, all these different things. We can write an outline. But what you can also do is really use any of the text content that Descript will help you create and create micro-learning modules out of it. So you don't have to write text from scratch because Descript analyzes the script of the video and then creates content around it. So really useful for empowering you to serve your learners, maybe their customers, maybe their employees, maybe their team members, with your content. Okay, so are your learners customers? Are they employees? Are they team members? Who are your learners? Because now that we move away from YouTube, there are really two different types of micro-learning platforms. There are internal micro-learning platforms or internal micro-learning learning management systems, and there's external micro-learning platforms or micro-learning learning management systems. An internal learning management system or micro-learning platform is one that empowers you to serve your employees, your contractors, your team members. It empowers you to train your teams at your company, at your organization. External micro-learning platforms empower you to sell your micro-learning programs, sell your content to your customers so that you can serve them with your courses and other micro-learning training programs. So depending on which one of these buckets you fit in, you're going to want to evaluate different micro-learning platforms. We're going to start with Kajabi though, because we already kind of talked about Kajabi. So Kajabi is what we call an external micro-learning platform or an external learning management system that empowers you to market and sell your online courses, your micro-learning courses. I use Kajabi to run both of my businesses, okay? eLearning Partners and Athlete with Asthma. And I use it because of two reasons that we talked about at the beginning of this video. The first reason is it easily empowers me to do what I need to do to serve my customers because the back end is so user-friendly and easy to use. And the second thing is it is so easy for my customers to not only purchase the courses from me, the microlearning courses from me, they are able to access them however they want. They can access it through their web browser. They can access it on their mobile device. It's so easy. Now, I highly recommend that if you are also selling microlearning courses, to grab your 30-day free trial linked right below this video. And as an additional bonus, along with giving you a 30-day free trial of Kajabi, I want to throw in my Kajabi Made Simple online course, which will help you get Kajabi set up from A to Z while you're doing that 30-day free trial so that you are ready to market and sell your online courses to your learners. So go grab that 30-day free trial and get access to my online course, Kajabi Made Simple. Okay, so once we log in to the back end of Kajabi, it's broken down pretty intuitively. Okay, products, this is where your courses are going to be. You can also have other products. This is why I like Kajabi, because you can actually have more than just courses as your product. You can also host your podcast in Kajabi. This is what I do for Athlete with Asthma. My podcast is in Kajabi. I upload everything to Kajabi and it pushes it to all the platforms, to Apple, to Spotify, and all the other podcasting platforms. Really nice. And you also have sales. So under sales, this is where we set up our payment processing. Kajabi really is an all-encompassing system to run your business, to run your micro-learning business, okay? So you can take payments, you can set up checkout pages, you can set up landing pages and sales pages, you can even email market. So if we go to marketing down here, this is where all of our automations, and the main thing here is our email campaigns, okay? And our forms to actually collect people's information, their email address, name, etc. Okay. Now we also have the website tab. This is because Kajabi literally allows you to host your entire website. I host my eLearning Partners website and I host my Athlete with Asthma website using Kajabi. Really easy. I don't have to use a bunch of different platforms. I literally just use Kajabi as the sole platform to run both my businesses. You can also set up your own branded app. Big part of microlearning is people are most likely going to be ingesting microlearning on their mobile devices, okay? So if that's the case, you probably want to make sure that you're microlearning, that what you're creating is available on those devices. Well, Kajabi does this in two ways. You have the budget to pay for the branded app. You can literally create your own branded app. It's not going to have Kajabi written anywhere on it. It's your app. Kajabi is going to help you get it on the App Store, go through all the hoops that you need to go through to get it on the App Store. Kajabi has streamlined all that for you. You just are going to have to pay an additional amount per month, okay? So the pricing is here. Now this is a new feature in the past year or so, so the pricing is still kind of in flux. They're figuring it out, but this is a phenomenal option. So you actually have your own app that lives on the iOS and Android store for people to download to access your microlearning content on their phones, okay? The other option is Kajabi has their own mobile app. So you will actually have the Kajabi app on your phone. So I have it on my phone, where people can access your training by logging in to Kajabi on their phone. Now it's branded with Kajabi, but it doesn't cost any extra to have this, okay? And they can still access all of your courses in that way. It's just going to have the Kajabi branding. So another great way for people to access your courses. There's a lot of things to show you here. And like I said, I highly recommend you grab the 30-day free trial and get access to the Kajabi Made Simple online course. So you have everything done. You have your microlearning courses created and uploaded to Kajabi. You have your payment processing set up so you can take payments. You have your sales pages set up so you can actually promote your microlearning program, and you're going to even have your email marketing set up so you can start taking advantage of that. Use my affiliate link below this video so you can get the 30-day free trial, and you're going to get my Kajabi Made Simple course. So one thing I will show you is when we actually go to courses. So when we go to courses, what we can do is harness the power of Kajabi AI by making sure we have this box or dial turned on, okay? By turning this dial on, says use this info to generate content and additional resources. So I can have a course that says Microlearning 101. And now I want to say as detailed as possible what this course is about, because this is going to help Kajabi create my microlearning course for me. So I'm going to go in here and say, select and implement the best microlearning platforms. Create your first microlearning course and distribute your microlearning course to your learners. Okay, how to. Then we make sure this is checked on and we go next. I'm going to skip the rest of this. You can always change all of this later. So we're just going to go next. Okay. And here we go. Kajabi's AI capabilities, which Kajabi has multiple AI capabilities. This is my favorite one. And I actually have a video all about Kajabi's AI capabilities, so definitely go check that out. It's also talked about in the free course. But basically, Kajabi is creating a course outline, it's creating a landing page, and it's even creating an email broadcast for my online course, so I can tell my email list what my online course is about and start getting them excited to take the online course. Okay, but this course outline that Kajabi is creating is amazing for microlearning. So let's check it out here. Okay, here is the basic course creator in Kajabi. We go to add content and we have modules, submodules, lessons, quizzes, and upload multiple videos. Okay, modules are really what we would call at eLearning Partners milestones, or you may call them learning objectives. It could be a unit, a chapter, okay? This is definitely not the microlearning component. This is like the group of microlearning training. So you'd have a module, and then within the module, you have all the subtopics, okay? A submodule is if you need to break up that module into submodules. So maybe one module is broken up into 3 submodules, and then within those submodules, you have 3 microlearning pieces of training, okay? At least that's what Kajabi would call it. Lessons are really, that's the microlearning unit. eLearning Partners, we'd call module milestone, submodule submilestone, and lesson we would call module. And module is really that smallest form of content, that micro content bit. It gets confusing. All the platforms I'm sharing with you today call these things different. So you just need to know what the purpose of each of these things are. In the first module that Kajabi has created for us, it says understanding microlearning. There's 3 lessons. These would be the microlearning pieces of content. Okay, and there's no videos here, but there's text, and we can tell that because of this little icon that kind of looks like a paper. Okay, then we also have choosing the right microlearning platform. Then we have creating your first microlearning course and distributing your microlearning course. This is why when you fill out that description, you want to be very descriptive. And I talked about here's the 3 things that you're going to be doing. Now, if we go in here, types of microlearning, Kajabi has literally already written out the text content for this microlearning, okay? So you can use this to help you build your microlearning and then just build a really short video about what is listed here. And I definitely always recommend with AI to make changes to it. We also have a course called AI eLearning Unleashed. I highly recommend you grab a copy of. It is linked in the description below this video, and it teaches you how to shortcut the microlearning and just e-learning and online course production time so that you can get your content out in front of your learners in half the time or even faster. Okay, so AI eLearning Unleashed, linked below the video. But the basic concept of using AI in anything is really we use it as a starting point for whatever we're building. So I invite you to use this as a starting point for your microlearning, okay? And then you can upload a video here, really easy. You can change out your image, your lesson thumbnail here. You can have downloads. That's really it. So this is my favorite part of building a microlearning course in Kajabi, okay? And we can delete this stuff. We can add, so we can delete different lessons that we don't like that Kajabi created for us. We can add lessons, etc. Okay. Now, like I said, if you want to dive deeper into how to use Kajabi, I also have my Kajabi LMS reviews that I put out every year that are extremely comprehensive. The one from 2024, for example, is like an hour and 40 minutes long, and it teaches you all these things you need to know about Kajabi. So you can definitely check that out and click on the affiliate link below the video, grab your 30-day free trial, and get access to Kajabi made simple online course. So what if you're creating microlearning content that is for your employees, that's for your team members, that you are using to train internally? Well, in that case, I highly recommend TalentCards. TalentCards is my third microlearning platform that you should be using in 2025. TalentCards is extremely easy to use. So we go back to those two things that we evaluate microlearning platforms on. One, does it empower you to create microlearning easily for your learners? Yes. Two, does it allow you to deliver microlearning to your learners so it is easy for them to access and learn what they need to learn? Yes. Now, with Kajabi and with TalentCards, what you can do is use Descript to create the videos, and then you can upload them to either platforms. You can upload them to Kajabi, just like we would do right here. And then with TalentCards actually calls its courses card sets. So what we would do is create a card set, I'll show you in a second, and then upload videos to each card in the card set. Now, what makes TalentCards and Kajabi different? Well, TalentCards doesn't have all the functionality to help you sell and market your online courses. Instead, it focuses on internal training. Okay, it focuses on creating internal leaderboards for your company so that you can reward your team members based on how many microlearning trainings they're taking and how this has improved their key performance indicators at your company, which is really important to do. Even though people are taking their training, we want to always make sure that we cross-reference any analytics we're looking at in the analytics tab or the infographic tab that TalentCards uses here. We want to cross-reference this with what our learners, our employees are achieving in the real world. Now, I also want you to be able to check out TalentCards. It's just why I have a link right below the video in the YouTube description that is going to give you an unlimited free trial of TalentCards. Yes, unlimited. What does that mean? That means that you're going to get access to TalentCards not only for 30 days, but for as many days as you want. Now, you are limited in some capacity. You're only going to be able to have 5 users in your TalentCards account, which is great if you're a small company because you can literally train your entire company with a free version of TalentCards. And then it is very inexpensive when you start upgrading. Well, along with getting an unlimited free trial of TalentCards, I'm throwing in another bonus, my TalentCards Made Simple online course, which is going to help you go from A to Z, building out everything you need in TalentCards to start enrolling and training your employees as soon as possible. So by using my link in the description below the video, you're going to get that unlimited free trial and access to TalentCards Made Simple. Now, just like Kajabi, I am going to give you an overview of how we can use TalentCards for microlearning. So first of all, I want to show you what the TalentCards app looks like. Now, TalentCards does not have a white labeled app, okay? Which in my opinion is fine, especially because you're not selling these courses, okay? You're training your internal employees with these courses. So you don't need a branded app. They can download the TalentCards app from the App Store, okay? From the Google Play Store. This is what the app looks like, okay? It's very user-friendly. Here's all the courses or card sets that they are assigned. And here's the progress. So it tracks their progress, shows all their activity. The leaderboard, seasonal and all-time leaderboard. This is where you can reward your employees, your team members, based on points that they're getting. You get points by completing cards and by completing card sets. Here's their inbox. Messages from you, messages from other learners, okay? This is really, it's set up to be like a social media platform, okay? Because we open up one of the card sets, here's all the cards, here's the training, okay? I look at the card, maybe there's a video on it, maybe there's just text on it, I go to the next card. And I swipe, right, I swipe to the next card. Very similar to popular social media platforms. So this is what it looks like for the user. Now let's look at how we create a card set. So what we're going to do is go to card sets, go to create card set, or create set. And then similar to Kajabi, we want to use the AI capabilities of TalentCards. Now, when you're not paying for TalentCards, you're going to get less AI capabilities. I always recommend that you have this checked instead of this create a set from scratch over here. Okay, and we're going to just say standard set. You can also do spaced repetition, which is create double-sided cards that ask learners which info they've mastered and which needs reviewing. This is adaptive learning. So your employees, your contractors don't need to take everything if they already know it. But we always want to make sure that we are connecting the results that people get in TalentCards, in our learning management systems, in our e-learning and our microlearning programs with KPIs in the real world. Because people could just decide to skip everything and not even take the training. I'm okay with that if they're getting better at their job, if their KPIs are improving. So we're gonna do the same thing here, Microlearning 101. Then we have description. I'm actually gonna go into Kajabi and I'm just gonna pull what we put in the Kajabi here. Go to settings. This is gonna show us our description. Here we go. Grab this, back to TalentCards. Put our description in here, create an instance set, continue with new editor, card set topic, microlearning is fine, generate. And it's just gonna see what it can generate. Here we go. We have 5 cards. Microlearning is a method of delivering short, focused bursts of information. Okay, so all these different cards. So what we can do then, is we can add more cards if we want. I'm just gonna go continue. And yeah, we'll use AI to generate one multiple choice question. Okay, it's going to be a really easy multiple choice question, but it's cool that AI is going to generate it for you. I always opt to using AI when it's an option, because I always use AI as a starting point, just like I teach an AI e-learning Unleashed, linked in the description below this video. And then I customize it based on what knowledge I have to make the course as good as it can be. Okay, so what is the purpose of microlearning? To deliver short, focused bursts of information. Great. I can add more questions here if I want. I'm going to go continue, because I can add questions later. We're also going to, let's have it generate some images for us. Now, this gets better and better every time I try it. It's going to take 3 to 5 minutes. It's going to develop some images for our microlearning course. While it's doing that, let me just jump into another course here and show you how you can add these amazing microlearning videos that you're creating in Descript to your course, okay? Now, here's the card, okay? Now, it obviously has the TalentCards logo here because we're not paying for TalentCards. When you start paying for it, this goes away. So we can just decide to not use these backgrounds though too. Okay, we can even add a new card. There's no background, and we can select a background, add an image. We can pull a template and use that. I'll stick to this template. There we go. And then what I'm gonna do is go to video. And this is why YouTube was the first microlearning platform we went through today, because what you can do is upload your videos to YouTube, and you can pull them into your program right here by just searching for the video on YouTube. You can also do that if you have Vimeo. You can also just upload directly. And for a lot of stuff, I do recommend that you just upload directly. Now, if you're not paying for TalentCards, you may not be able to upload. Might be able to upload a couple videos here and there, but you're gonna have to pay for TalentCards in order to upload more, which is why you could upload them to YouTube and then have them live in YouTube and TalentCards, okay? Now, you obviously don't wanna put anything out on YouTube that you don't want other people seeing, but if you're okay with other people seeing the content, then you can put it on YouTube and then pull it in to TalentCards. So when we find the video on YouTube, you just search, and we can pull it in right here. Here's the video. Now it lives on the card. We can make it as big as we want. Takes up the card, and there we go. Okay. And then we can preview it. Not gonna go there. Click on publish, and then let's see, what set are we in? 30 pounds. Okay. So we're gonna look at this now, and I wanna see what this looks like in the TalentCards app. So how to lose 30 pounds. Here we go. Here's the card we just created. And boom, here's the video. And it plays right here. Okay. And we're done with it. We can go to the next card. Really simple. Okay, so let's go back and see what we have. We have Microlearning 101 right here. Let's see what the AI did for us. Okay, here we go. Came up with some images, added some text. This is great. These are some of the best images TalentCards has ever generated, and it doesn't have TalentCards logo on it either, so I can actually use this. And then I can pull videos into each card. Really simple. Like I said, if you want to learn how to use TalentCards A to Z, I highly recommend you grab your free trial of TalentCards. And in addition to getting an unlimited free trial, another bonus I'm going to give you is the TalentCards Made Simple online course. So definitely go check that out. And I also have other videos on my eLearning Partners YouTube channel that dive into TalentCards, including my all-encompassing everything you need to know about TalentCards reviews that I put out every year. So we've gone through YouTube. We've talked about an external microlearning platform and an internal microlearning platform. What else we got? Well, I have two more microlearning platforms to share with you. One is external and one is internal. Let's start by going through LearnWorlds. LearnWorlds is another external microlearning platform for you to market and sell your microlearning courses to your learners. Now, I want you to be able to access LearnWorlds for free, which is why I'm offering you a 30-day free trial of LearnWorlds linked in the description below this video. And as a bonus, you can get access to my LearnWorlds Made Simple online course. So by using the link in the description below this video, you're not only going to get access to the free trial, you're going to get access to the LearnWorlds Made Simple online course, which is going to help you go from A to Z, getting everything set up that you need to start serving your microlearning content to your learners, to your customers as soon as possible. LearnWorlds is similar to Kajabi. It has some functionalities that are different though, and those are what I want to highlight right now. Kajabi, I've told you, I use to run both of my businesses, eLearning Partners and Athlete with Asthma. And if I ever start another business, I will also use Kajabi. That's because I focus heavily on microlearning videos. Now, LearnWorlds also offers microlearning video capabilities, okay? It also actually, in addition, offers interactive microlearning video capabilities, which Kajabi doesn't as the recording of this video. But really where LearnWorlds shines more than Kajabi is if you are building a microlearning course using an authoring tool like Rise 360, or you're using something like Storyline or Adobe Captivate. Okay, so if you're building a microlearning program using one of these authoring tools, you probably want to use LearnWorlds to help you market and sell. Because Kajabi is not SCORM and HTML5 compliant. If you don't know what that means, great, just go with Kajabi. But if you know what I'm talking about right now, SCORM and HTML5 compliance, and you're like shaking your head and you're like, yeah, I need that, I guess I can't use Kajabi, then LearnWorlds is right for you, because it is SCORM and HTML5 compliant. Here we are, I'm logged into LearnWorlds, so go grab your free trial and meet me here. And LearnWorlds is broken up similar to Kajabi. We have home, we have courses, website, because LearnWorlds will also host your entire website, just like Kajabi. Users, that's how we actually get our learners into our program. We click here, this is gonna show your admin users. It's going to show your actual students. It's going to show your leads and your current customers. Okay, leads will show up here. Then we have communication. This is where all your marketing emails will actually go, and any emails that are sent to your learners when they complete different things in courses. Then we have the marketing tab here. This is where we actually put together our bundles and do sales. Communication in LearnWorlds is like Kajabi's marketing tab. The marketing in LearnWorlds is like Kajabi's sales tab. And this is where you can even set it up an affiliate program for your course, which you can also do in Kajabi, where basically you can get people to sell your course for you, and then you can pay them a percentage of the sales that they bring in. Then reports and a mobile app. So like I said, the biggest difference is when we go into courses, we can create courses that are actually SCORM-based courses. So we're gonna start here, and then I'll show you the mobile app. So we go to create course. It's gonna ask us similar things. We're gonna go back to Kajabi and just copy paste. We go here, here's description, Microlearning 101. Okay, we're gonna skip adding a cover photo. We can do it later. We can skip this too. This is your URL for the sales page. We're gonna keep this as a draft. Like I said, if you want comprehensive training on this, it's in the LearnWorlds Made Simple online course, and I actually have reviews of LearnWorlds in depth on my channel as well for each year. So here we are. We can start building from scratch or start with AI. I always recommend start with AI. And it's gonna ask us some questions. Now, it asks us a lot more questions than Kajabi and TalentCards asked us, okay? So it's asking, what are we building here? I'm just gonna do videos. And yeah, we'll have exams, okay? Number of sections. So LearnWorlds calls what Kajabi calls modules sections, what we call milestones, what you may call units or chapters. 3's fine. Set the number of activities per section. Activities is what Kajabi calls lessons. Activities is what TalentCards calls cards. Activities is what we call modules. These are the micro-learning units. Okay, these bite-sized pieces of content that we're creating for our learners. Include specific key topics. I'm just gonna put my description here again. Not gonna add anything there. Instructional approach. It's gonna say problem-based learning. Specific course level. Foundational is fine. And describe the course audience. I'm gonna say new to micro-learning. Activities, set tone of voice. I'm gonna go with friendly. And then go generate. And it's going to generate an outline for us. So right now, LearnWorlds doesn't generate the in-depth content that Kajabi does with its AI, and it doesn't generate images like TalentCards does with its AI. What it does is it generates an outline for us, which I'm going to click on Insert Content because I just want this to be here and saved, right? So it gets an outline for us, and it says, hey, you should have 4 videos and then an exam, 4 videos and then an exam. Okay, and then you can go in and actually upload the videos. There's no content actually here, okay? So we literally have to go and upload the video. We can also technically add SCORM, right? So just because there's a video icon here doesn't mean this has to be video. So what we can do is we can either add a new activity and bring our SCORM and HTML5 packages in. Let's just put SCORM here, okay? And then here's where you add SCORM. So you can export your SCORM files from whatever tool you're using and upload them here, okay? Or you could even go into microlearning here, go to add, and then we can add SCORM. Then we can preview it and we're good to go, okay? The other thing here to note, like I said, really another reason why you would use LearnWorlds over Kajabi to market and sell your online courses is interactive video. So you can also pull in YouTube videos just like we can in TalentCards. You can pull in audio, all these different things, but we can use interactive video. And interactive video is just as simple as adding call to actions, clickable call to actions in your videos that pop up on the screen that your learners can interact with. So what you can do is create your videos in Descript once more, and then upload them to LearnWorlds, and then create your micro-learnings using your favorite authoring tool, and then upload it to LearnWorlds. So let's go back and let's look at the mobile app. So mobile app is similar to Kajabi. Now, LearnWorlds has a mobile app that is customizable just like your Kajabi mobile app. Unlike Kajabi and TalentCards, LearnWorlds doesn't have an app with their branding on it that you can access your online courses from. But it does have the ability similar to Kajabi where you have a white labeled app that your learners can access your micro-learnings from. So this is where you can change the design of your app. And it's similar where you're going to pay additional, okay, you're going to have to upgrade in order to have your app, okay? Here's where you have your app settings. Here's how you set it up on the Play Store and App Store. And then, yeah, once we launch, this is where you're gonna pay additional for the app. So the great thing about this is it can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to build an app from scratch. But if you use Kajabi or LearnWorlds as your microlearning platform, you're gonna get an app built for just a couple $100 a month. This is way cheaper than spending $100,000 just on a MVP, a minimum viable product, of an app. We actually looked at creating our own micro-learning platform about 5 or 6 years ago. And the lowest bids we got were about that for a high quality app. And the highest bids we got were exponentially higher than $100,000. So the fact that you can spend just a couple $100 to have your own white labeled app on the app stores is phenomenal. Okay, so if you're interested in LearnWorlds, I highly recommend you grab that 30-day free trial. You're also not only going to get the 30-day free trial, you're going to get access to my LearnWorlds Made Simple online course, which is going to help you do everything you need to get your courses in front of your learners, your micro-learnings in front of your learners within that 30 days. So what if you want an internal micro-learning platform that's more customizable than TalentCards, that you can host some of your SCORM and HTML5 based courses that you've already created, your micro-learnings you've already created on? Well, should you use LearnWorlds? No, you should use TalentLMS. TalentLMS is my 5th micro-learning platform that you should be using in 2025. If you're building online courses, micro-learning programs to train your employees, to train your team members, you want to check out TalentCards and TalentLMS. And guess what? You can also get an unlimited day free trial of TalentLMS linked in the description below this video. And in addition to getting that unlimited free trial, I have another added bonus for you, which is my TalentLMS Made Simple online course, which is going to help you get everything in order, everything set up, from creating courses to setting up and customizing TalentLMS for your business so you can start creating change in your organization, so you can start having more efficient and effective team members. Similar to TalentCards, it is an unlimited free trial, which means you can have up to 5 users or 5 team members for free in the platform. So you don't just have 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You can have up to 5 users for as long as you want. And then once you start needing more users, then you will need to upgrade. And there's some functionalities you need to upgrade as well. So how do we use TalentLMS as a micro-learning platform? Well, we have the Courses tab here. The Courses tab is going to be really where the magic happens. Okay. Now, maybe you already have some micro-learning programs built with Rise 360 or Storyline or one of these authoring tools. If you already have SCORM or HTML5 built courses, what you can do is go to Add, and then we go to our learning activities. Then we go to SCORM, and you can even upload XAPI and CMI5 based courses. Okay, so we would upload them here, and boom, you're good to go. So what is the biggest difference between TalentLMS and LearnWorlds then? Well, TalentLMS doesn't have all the functionalities for selling and marketing your courses. Instead, it has in-depth customizations that you can do to connect TalentLMS to your systems at your organization that you already have. It has really strong API integration and SSO integration. And if you have offices all over the country or world, you can break down individual learning environments for different offices, for different departments, however you want to do things. Maybe you have franchises all over the world. You want an independent learning environment for each of those franchises. I'll show you a little bit of that in a sec. But basically, in addition to being able to use our SCORM-X API and CMI5 built courses, we can upload videos that we've created in Descript. Okay, we can even add videos from YouTube. Okay, we can record videos directly into TalentLMS. We can even record our screen directly into TalentLMS. So you can use TalentLMS to do all these things for you. The other thing we can do, and this is my favorite part of TalentLMS, is TalentCraft. So TalentCraft is an authoring tool for microlearning. It is a microlearning authoring tool, just like Rise 360, but instead of having to pay $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 per user per year to access a software that doesn't even host your courses, you can get access to TalentCraft, which is literally the same thing, but within TalentLMS for free. So you can build your courses, your microlearning courses within TalentLMS for free, and then you can roll them out to your learners by upgrading for a couple $100 a month. And guess what? You don't have to pay $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a year per user. Everyone on your team can go in here and use TalentCraft to build your microlearning courses. And we can build them from scratch, import from a document. So if you already have a PDF or a whole course built out in a document, you can import it into TalentLMS. We can also just generate from AI and use a template. Now, the reality is all this stuff is using AI. TalentLMS made simple. I go through every single one of these options and show you how to get the most out of it. I also show you how to integrate TalentLMS with other AI platforms like ChatGPT and AI eLearning Unleashed. You can grab your copy of that course linked in the description below this video. But for our purposes today, I'm just going to show you from a template. So we can pick a template, and once we pick a template, TalentLMS builds it out for us. And really, we can customize this as much as we want. We can upload videos from YouTube. We can upload videos from Descript. Okay, so we can literally go change video here and upload a video to my library. Boom. There we go. We have a video. We can add text. We can add images. We can add charts. We can even add interactive stuff like a process, new sections, all these different things. Now, I like to start from a template because then we can just delete things easily like this, or like, hey, we're going to delete that, we're going to delete this. We can create new sections. So if I go to the bottom here, I can create sections anywhere, but I'm going to create a new section. Right, so here's continue button. This takes us to the new section. I can delete this if I want. We can create a chart. We can add a labeled graph. So I can add markers. See, it's very interactive. You can add your own custom picture here and then add markers that when people click on it, it opens up these microlearning texts. We can add a question. We can add a list. We can also tell the AI to create flashcards about microlearning. So flashcards are being created by AI now. So TalentCraft has a ton of different capabilities, and it really empowers you to create microlearning easily by just inputting the content you already have, and then TalentLMS using TalentCraft is going to create it for you. So here are our flashcards. Really cool. I love this. Okay, we can go back. So that's if we use a template. We can also just start generating AI from scratch. So we can say, create a microlearning module for me about how to select the best micro learning platform. Boom. And then it's going to start creating a page based on what I told it. It's going to write a bunch of text for me that I highly recommend you edit. It's going to add different interactions. What I highly recommend you do is add video, because it's not going to create a video for you. Okay. It might create a placeholder for a video for you, but you're going to want to add a video, and you're going to want to do that using Descript and then upload the video to the top of the page. So really easy. Now, I want you to be able to demo all of these microlearning platforms, which is why I have links to all of them. Kajabi, TalentCards, TalentLMS, LearnWorlds, linked below the video. You're going to get free trials with all of them, and you're going to get free courses with all of them, my made simple courses. So definitely use my link, grab your free trials. You're also going to get those free courses and create a YouTube channel if you don't already have one. I'll see you in the next video.